My name is Eric. I live in Fairbanks, Alaska. I actually have property about 80 miles from the Arctic Circle, and I have a little trailer out there. This whole setup is something I'm trying to build. Like I said, I'm not too good at this, but basically I got a list. Give me a second. So my name's Eric. Like I said, I live in Fairbanks, Alaska. I have property. I said that already. Why? Why am I building this? So the property, it's not feasible to leave power on it 24/7. It's nice to be able to shut down things completely. I have a pellet stove out there. The pellet stove works awesome, but you still have to have power for most pellet stoves. And it's pretty easy for me and my father, to buy pellets than it is to cut wood and use an actual traditional fireplace style. So it would be nice if I had a pellet stove that, once it was running, did not require any more power than it took to actually get it started. It would be self-sufficient the second you finally went through the first couple cycles. So why am I making this video? I'm not the greatest people person, nor am I the greatest person to make a video, but I have buddies, and I do some crazy shit sometimes, and they said somebody out there has to find this interesting. So I'm going to try. I can't guarantee you I'm going to keep making them. I would love to just do this for the whole process, but if nobody watches them and nobody cares, I'm not going to continue making these. But so safety, like I said before, I'm just some idiot. I have knowledge in this. I'm pretty good at it. I've done way smaller projects of this, but by no means am I a professional. You should be watching these videos for either entertainment value or something other than this being a how-to. This is not a how-to. Anything you do is on you. It really is. This you are in charge of your own safety, not me. So let's go through the process. This is way oversimplified, but I have a trailer. Here in Alaska, you have to have some form of heat. If you don't, you can't be there. You just can't. So that is the pellet stove. To initiate it, you still have to have 110 power to get the whole process started. But once it's running, it's mainly just motors turning. It doesn't have a huge draw once it's running. It just takes power to start it. What I would like to do is, utilizing Peltiers and the Thermoelectric effect, we'll talk about that in a second. I am making a large thermoelectric generator, I should say. In this case, the pellet stove will be the generator that keeps itself running. And I'm going to go ahead and point out now, I apologize. If I don't use the head cam to actually record this, all you see is glare and you can't see the actual board at all. If people do watch these, I will buy a much better tripod that allows me to record and point at this. This is more or less just to see if people even want to watch these videos for right now. But like I said, I have modules that I'm building that will allow to consume heat from the side of this and cold from outside to generate the power that it needs to keep running. This is pretty much the wall of the trailer. Those are actually steel line. I wouldn't want to actually use hoses for most of it. I want to use steel line and then hoses anytime I go into something. But basically, it will send glycol out to the radiators outside. The radiators outside will take the heat and turn it back into cold, which will keep one side cold and one side hot. I'm oversimplifying this, I'm sorry, but that's pretty much how these work. I can go more into it. Like I said, this isn't my first rodeo. I've made around, I've made a bunch of different stuff with thermoelectrics. This is just my largest. I don't want to get into how it works, nor am I a teacher of any sort, but the two things you want to research to know why this works is Peltier. Peltiers are the things you can buy off Amazon. I'll show them to you in a second on my wall, on my table. And the effect that makes the power is called thermoelectric effect. There's actually a really good wiki, if you look both of them up, that tells you how this works. Like I said, the outcome of this is, I'm guessing you guys were just typing stuff into YouTube to find something that interested you, and you probably found the word thermoelectric or Peltier or thermal generator or pellet stove generator. At this point, I actually have not posted the video, and I'm not sure what keywords I'm going to use. I'm trying to stay away from the cheesy free generator, free power, that shit. There's nothing good in typing that shit just to get people to clickbait. But this is real world. I'm making this. I've actually already bought about 90% of all the stuff. In a second, I'm going to switch over to my tripod for the table, and I'm going to show you the different equipment that I've bought to build the different parts. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this. Okay, so I'm gonna try this now. I'm gonna start from the left side of the table and work my way to the right. So everything I've ordered is in 3/8. 3/8 steel line, basically brake line. And like I said before on the thing, the Peltiers, everything here was ordered off Amazon. So you could literally order every bit of this except for the pellet stove. Actually, I think you can order pellet stoves off Amazon. Everything here was ordered off Amazon. 3/8 steel line. That's actual 3/8 hose. These are to make the soft connections. This is actually braided. I don't think he had to go braided, but braided is how I got my better deal. Everything here is was basically picked up over the entire summer. Here in Alaska, you pretty much get about 3, maybe 4 months of summer, and half of that sun doesn't go down. So you basically spend most of your time just prepping projects to give you something to do over the winter. And this is actually a solar controller, but it has an MPPT charger built into it. The main reason I went with a solar with an MPP charger is the actual Peltiers. It's easier for them to make voltage than it is for them to make actual amperage. The way normally it works is as they start producing power, what you see is the volts going up, and then once they hit about 3-4 volts, that pretty much just stops, and then you start seeing the amperage come up. In that case, I have 30 of them with 20 more coming. 30 of them would give me a good solid 90 volts. The charge controller has a max of 100 volts, and what it does is it takes that 100 volts and converts it down to whatever voltage my batteries are sitting at. In this case, I kind of wish I went with 24 volt, but everything I had was already 12. So if this works out great, my goal is to is to switch over to a 24 volt system and just get a 24 to 12 volt converter for the different 12 volt things I can't switch out. But this is important. Most people fail at their thermoelectric builds because they want amperage. These don't want to make amperage, they want to make volts. So it's better to work with them than against them. So these are the radiators that I purchased off of Amazon. Once again, everything's 3/8. I ordered 2, and I actually have 2 more coming. These are what I'll use as heat exchangers, but I'm not positive I'm going to continue to use these. These are more or less to see how efficient that I can make it when it's not 30 or 40 below. And yes, it does get 30, 40 below out here. But those are just for right now. I actually have a better idea of a steel tank outside holding about 10 gallons of glycol, and it would be used as the actual cooling tank as it cycles. Fans I purchased for it. Like I said, I don't think I paid more than about 14, 15 bucks for these. If you slowly acquire everything you need, it's much cheaper than just purchasing everything. Not positive I needed this, but it's a fan controller at 30 or 40 below. I'm actually kind of scared that I can actually over chill the glycol. So this is allowing me to adjust the fans. In the beginning, I'm mainly going to use one radiator and pretty much one of my modules I'm going to build, and just run it as that. But as I gain more radiators and more modules, I need the ability to adjust where the liquid flows. So I actually, man, it's kind of hard to get these in front of the camera, sorry. So I ordered a bunch of these so that I can actually adjust the flow and which direction it goes and whether it flows at all on the different lines. Still 3/8. I showed you the Peltiers. A big thing in ordering these right the first time is most Peltiers that you can afford, they get really expensive, are 40 millimeters by 40 millimeters. In a second, I'll show you how that's important to know, because you can buy your parts so they actually work well together. But those are, see if you can, I have 30 of them. I have 20 more coming. For right now, I was planning on using a bunch of these smaller 12 volt pumps. I currently have 8, and I'll be using these for pretty much up to about 1 or 2 of the radiator setup. I think once we get to 4, that's the reason why I purchased these larger ones, much larger, is once I get to the point where I'm like 4 or 6 modules and 4 radiators, I'm going to need to be able to move a hell of a lot more fluid. So yeah, I ordered those. I pretty much ordered way too much. I just had all summer to plan this out. I got all the stuff to prove my voltages and everything. I plan on having voltmeters everywhere. This one, it will be the main one directly off the battery. It actually has logging on it. I can set what the normal volts and everything are, and it pretty much tells me above and below that, so I can tell whether I'm charging or discharging. It's a 300 amp shunt and everything. I don't think I will need 300 amps whatsoever. These are all much smaller voltmeters, but I think they go up to a couple hundred volts. Everything here is DC. I forgot to say that. Everything here is DC, but I think these go to a max of 10 amps, and I actually have quite a few of them, so I can put them wherever I need them. Like I said, I was pretty much doing everything I could to make this safe. I got a fuse block for different things. I don't really have the schematic on the board or anything to show you right now, but the fuse box, that's to make it quite safe. As I stated before, the size and ordering stuff in the correct is quite important. These are the actual water blocks. I actually ordered these a long time ago, but they never showed up from Amazon. But the ones I wanted had the fittings coming out of the top, which worked very well. But in the end, I couldn't get anything out of China from Amazon or anybody else, and Amazon had these two for 25 bucks. So I ordered two just to verify for a fact that they work, and then I have 4 more coming. But to show you what I was talking about, the sizes, you need to order them in a certain way, because if you look, they're exactly the right size in every way. So you can stack them up down the side. You can actually fit 5 of these perfect on here. So that's important. But this tape here is actually 2-sided thermal tape, and it actually makes it so that it's actually the same size and everything too. So the assembly won't feel like you're just jankily throwing some shit together. It's going to feel like you're building something consistent. I also wanted it to be safe, just like the fuse blocks. I bought a bunch of these, but these are actually little meters that tell you the temperature with a probe. I have it's either 8 or 10, but if you look, they have a little cable here, so you can wire it up to where you want, and it'll tell you what the temperature is. That's mainly so that I don't really worry about at any point it boiling over, or it should never get hot enough to boil over, but if it does, those will be my alarms. This is probably pointless, but I actually got a really good deal on it. It actually has metal fittings on it. This is meant for water cooling, but I was going to use it to burp the system, and in the beginning, verify that I actually have flow. I'm not going to. I have enough flow, and that I burp the system. So I would slowly fill it up as the pumps run until the water level pretty much would stay the same, and then it would come in from the top, and then you pretty much get the idea. But that's just for the beginning. I won't. If things work out the way I want, the tank should actually be outside. I feel like I'm really just throwing this crap together. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm not normally a person that tells you what I'm doing. I just do it. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video, and we're going to go back to the other board. Well, I hope to get better at this. I'm sorry. It'll get a whole lot better, because instead of listening to me ramble, you'll actually be watching me build shit. But just to give you some heads up of how this is going to work out, this video is pretty much explaining you this plan and the stuff I bought, because I mean, there are people out there that just tell you things, but I mean, they don't back it up whatsoever. I've purchased this shit and I'm building it. The next video, I'll be taking you out to the property, showing you where I plan on putting it, letting you see the stove. I mean, proving to you that I even have property. I mean, what's the point of watching these videos if I don't even have a place to build this shit? And then the third one is going to be me literally documenting the stove, because I need to put a watt meter on it to see what it pulls and when it starts up, what it's running when it's just currently sitting there running heat in place. I need to pretty much find the hot spots and stuff. I need to go around with a laser temp and figure out where the temperature is on it, and there's a lot of different things I got to do. The fact is the documenting the stove, the one thing I haven't shown you is there has to be a media between the ceramics of the Peltiers and it physically touching the side of the stove. Aluminum melts at about 11 to 1200 degrees. From what I remember, I think the side was about 600 or 700. But I need to make sure that I don't put it in a place where it's a hot spot and it goes further than that. Plus, I'm not positive I want 600-700 degrees to touch the side of it. So, as I figure out the temperatures, I'm going to be making a media to go between them. Probably flattened aluminum, so there's like an airspace, think about it, like aluminum core, aluminum pipe, and flatten it with vice grips or something to get it flat, but have an airspace in between, or maybe used different styles of boxed in aluminum, maybe even go cold rolled steel like you buy at Home Depot or something. But there is a media that needs to go between, and I will figure out that media when I document the stove. Like I said, listening to me talk sucks. I'm sorry. I'm not a good talking person. I also cuss a lot. You're gonna hear me cuss. I'm sorry, but basically, if I get to step 3 and there's nobody really watching these, I'm not gonna do these videos anymore. Also, I guess I should go ahead and have this talk. I get so aggravated when I see videos and someone's like, subscribe or click here or ring my bell or leave a message. I will never ask you for any of those. But the basic fact is the reason why those people say that is you got to have so many followers, or you got to have so many comments, or somebody has to watch so many hours of your videos. That's the only way those people get paid. And I truly care less whether I get paid. I bought all this shit with my own money. I'll be honest with you, I'm probably going to read the comments, but I have zero fucks towards the comments. There are basically 3 people that write comments. Those that agree with you, those that don't agree with you, and then the trolls that are trying to either make you mad or other people that wrote comments mad. And the problem is it's about 60% trolls normally. So I normally just give no care to the comments. So I mean, I may read the comments, but they're not going to be the minute you write them. But like I said, if I don't have too many people watching the videos, I can get all this shit done so much faster if I didn't have to videotape stuff. I also have never video edited, so I'll be learning that as I get further down the road, because if people are watching, I plan on having all the gauges in one particular spot and have a different camera recording them, so that when I do these videos, in the top right corner you'd see the actual gauges and then me doing stuff on the main screen, so that you know that, I mean, it's doing something. Trying to think if I left anything out. Like I said, I read the comments. The comments are mainly there for you guys to talk to each other. And that's about it. And yes, my property is about 80 miles from the Arctic Circle, so it is 30, 40 below all winter long mainly. If we have a great day in the middle of winter, one of 2 things happens. We get to about -20, or for some freaking reason, it rains. Yes, in the middle of winter it can rain, and that's the worst thing that happens, because the second it hits the ground, literally turns everything to an ice skating rink, because the ground is still freezing. But yeah, we'll see where this goes. It would be nice to have a stove that doesn't require any power once it's lit. I'll keep you guys up to speed. Thank you.